Greetings Descendants, FiOth here, and in this video I will be relaying my impressions of the final technical test of the first Descendant. The good place today, 25th of May 2024, and will be concluded tomorrow on the 26th. So the game is in a pretty good state technologically. I couldn't capture my metrics here because I used shadow play, but I was getting consistently above 100 frames on a pretty competent ring, like a 3070 Ti graphics card. It's certainly better than the first test we ever got, and a big improvement from the last one we got. In this playtest, the game allows you to take a peek at certain aspects of the monetization model, but I want to stand on some of the quality of life improvements and additions that they made to the way you can configure your game to make it more enjoyable to each individual player. To put your mind at ease, in this build you can tinker with all the graphic options. If you have been following the game since the very first beta, you will remember that were very few to toggle, and we had to either go very low fidelity or very high fidelity with RTX, hogging a lot of system resources and making the game unplayable in most rigs. Here this is not the case. You can go into the options and change pretty much everything the way you like them, with the highlight being the controls. What they did here is allow us to calibrate the sensitivity of each archetype of weapon, so you can have slower aim when you're aiming down sights with a sniper rifle and faster if you're using an assault rifle, making the whole process much easier based on each player's taste. Now let's address the elephant in the room, the monetization model. The game sports a battle pass. As soon as you log in and land in Albion, that is the hub, you're given enough currency to unlock the premium pass for this 24 hours beta, and in it you can check daily and seasonal challenges that you can complete for currency and other rewards, and of course you can have a deep dive on what the battle pass proper has to offer. It is a free-to-play game, people. There is no two ways of saying this, but if you want to get all the stuff in this game, you have to dish out some dough and get the battle passes. It's XP boosters, skins, emotes, you name it. Now I can't really say if the pricing here is okay or not okay, because we have no analogy to real world currency. You just get some currency to buy this battle pass and you can tinker around and see what's on offer. When the game finally releases, you will know how expensive each one of these in-game currencies actually is. What I noticed and had me a bit worried is this battle coin exchange you can make every page of the battle pass. So you get battle coins and then you can go to the bottom right of the screen and you can purchase XP basically to unlock stuff without working for it. According to how greedy Nexon gets, this can be a deal breaker, because imagine if you need to farm for 2 days straight to unlock a skin in a battle pass that you already paid for, while some whale can just dish out some money and get everything right away. In these games it is unavoidable to an extent that you have to pay some money to get access to certain things. But when it comes to minimizing the time required to unlock anything, it can get a bit messy. Imagine if we get, for example, raid rewards, and you can either do a raid and get the reward, or you can just pay and get the reward without doing anything gameplay wise. The game right now does not support PvP, so it will mostly be a case of the peasants who actually pay to unlock, and some rich guy somewhere just eating tacos, getting all mustered up and paying real world money to get the loot. If they keep a good balance, it's gonna be fine. If not, it's gonna raise some eyebrows. Now, the really important stuff, the gameplay loop. If you played any of the previous betas or even the alpha, you know that this game mostly revolves around situations where you go from point A to point B. You either shoot stuff in the face, collect the loot, or you defend something, defuse something. It all revolves around you fighting enemies in very contained scenarios once you activate a mission, and when you clear said scenario, the world becomes a barren wasteland where you have pretty much nothing to do. I found a couple interactable points in Albion, the HUD area, that were not previously there unless I'm totally blind, but nothing important, just little audio logs. Still, the game is 100% empty once you are out of the mission area. Mission areas are dynamic, you hit one of the flags, the mission initiates, you fight the baddies, you take the satchels, you take them to the generators. It's all very simple stuff, doesn't offer much variety, and then once they're all gone and you have completed your objectives, there's nothing to shoot, there's nothing to loot, there's nothing, there's pretty much nothing. So the replayability of this will depend on players wanting to grind a lot, because that is pretty much the premise of the thing, it's a looter shooter. Playing with friends will certainly help a lot, and do some endgame activity that we don't know much about. In previous betas we know that once you leveled sufficiently you could fight the Colossi. The Colossi are pretty much bosses, not raids, nothing puzzly or intricate, it's just really huge enemies with really big life pools. You fight one in the tutorial, I did not record the gameplay sadly, but it's just a very big enemy with weak spots. You scan it with tab and then you hit the highlighted points, deal good damage, eventually take it down. This game can lend itself to a lot of interesting things. I don't know if you remember the vaults in Warframe or the raids in Destiny or even the dungeons. They had puzzles, they had mechanics, you had to know what to do, think on your feet, execute appropriately, and you could be rewarded at the end with stuff that the rest of the player base could not really get. Peacocking, as it's called, showcasing the stuff you got because of your skill to other players, is very integral to the experience of a game like this, a game shared in common hubs and servers with other people. So if they don't really bring anything to the table that will allow player expression and skill to be shown, I do not know what kind of longevity we can expect from this game. Suffice it to say, guys, I already dedicated a lot of time and effort making vids for this, and I will be covering it very extensively. I really hope they can pull through, create something interesting and worthwhile of our time. What I will be doing personally is go in day one, get the premium battle pass, start unlocking it, pay attention to the details when it comes to time investment versus reward, and I will be relaying my findings to the people watching after each session. I will be streaming this a lot, I will be making guides for it, and I will be showcasing gameplay and secrets found as soon as we get our hands on them. That's it for now. I will be preparing some very basic guides when it comes to how the game functions and its mechanics. You can check them here, starting with this vid that's about linking your various platforms. And until next time, be well, stay frosty, and always strive for perfection. Cheers!